All right. So what we have is some data. It's in this same format. I think this is the same data set that we used. Where you see we have, movie and the studio and the runtime, right, and the release date and the year. Okay. And let's say we want to find years where movies have an average length greater than 120. Okay. So there, we could just do this using the having clause. Let's query pd.reSQL, the query, and then the connection. All right, so we can do this, just doing the having clause. So select all from movies, and then we want to see, this is going to be the year where movies have an average length greater than 120. So we need to group by the year, right? And now we want to say like having, right, instead of where, right, having an average length, because here we could probably calculate the average runtime as average runtime. And then we'll say having an average runtime greater than 120. All right, and let's also get like the year. Okay, so we can see like these older, it seems like back in the olden days, they were fond of longer movies. Here the average was like 180, but this also might be a smaller data set. So okay, so we can do this aggregate obviously with having. We also probably could do it with like, we could do it probably with the subquery as well. Like we could do the group by year here, right? And then we'll say, let's just say select all from this table, where this table is the year average runtime from movies grouped by year. And this should just show us, right? This is all the group bys. And then we can say probably where the average runtime is greater than 120. And I broke it. Select all from, oh, this is wrong, right? I just had an extra E here. And right, we get the same result. So we also could do this with a subquery. Note that when doing it with the subquery, we're able to use the where clause, right? The reason why is because this part automatically is going to be run first, right? So first we're going to already have done that group by and created that column called average runtime, and then we can select all from it and just directly reference it with where. When we do the group by, if we didn't do a subquery, right, we needed to do the having because we know, as we know, having will make sure that first the group by occurs and then the where clause occurs. Okay, so these are two ways to do this. A third way to do this is with a CTE. Okay, so CTEs and subqueries are functionally the same. They're only difference in terms of syntax. So do this. So this time we'll say with, we'll call this movies grouped by year. And if I can't do it, yeah, I just can't. Okay, so what do you want to do? For each user ID, find the difference between the last action and the second to last action. Action is visiting a page. Okay, if the user has just one action, you can either remove her or from the final results or keep that user ID and have null as the time difference between the two actions. So basically we want, as a starting point in my brain, I'm just thinking we want the difference between the last action and the second to last action. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so as a starting point, we could get the difference, and we can look at the data, I suppose. So here is this, we have this Unix timestamp. Some people ask what is a Unix timestamp, which made me Google it. And apparently, like, it's just a counter starting in like 1970 January 1st. And then this is the amount of seconds since 1970 January 1st. All right, which obviously translates to like a time. All right, so so this is just a way of recording time. And then here we have the user ID, and this is what they did. So the first thing, I think, is find the difference between the last action and the second to last action. And just breaking, like, these problems are hard, so find difference between last action and second to last action. Just breaking this into steps, it's like, all right, let's find difference between any action and the previous action. Because I kind of know how to do that, right? Which is, I think, finding the lag. So we want to do select the user ID, let's say the Unix timestamp from events. Let's just do like limit 10 for now. All right, so, and now what we want to do is for each action, find the previous action. So that would be the lag of the Unix timestamp, right? And go one backwards, okay? And then when, okay, this is previous action by user, right? So I want to, if I want to think of the earlier thing, I'm always, when am I starting over? Or get it hitting that null value? That's when I've never seen a user before. So partition by the user ID. And what does it mean to be before? It means an earlier point in time, right? So order by the Unix timestamp. Now, one thing I could not keep track in my head was whether or not it should be like the lag is ascending or descending. So you can see I wrote out just two numbers for myself. I'm like, these numbers don't have to be super large. Let's just choose the number 10 and 9, where 9 is earlier than 10. If I want to find the previous action, then these should be, I want these ordered getting bigger, right? 9, 10, 11. And then the lag will give me the earlier one. So if I'm on 11, the lag will give me 10. So to get this ordered properly, they first need to be ordered ascending, right? Going smallest to largest. So I just wrote that out. Ascending, right? And now I just check that works. And it doesn't. Over. We're missing the word over. Okay. And we should probably add some sort of, let's call this previous time. Timestamp. So this is